The final show before the reckoning.
Let's go!
In Norman. Yeah, he's fired up. I'm fired up. It's Auburn and Oklahoma. Zach, yeah. Auburn's going to go try. You know, they're going to go try, I guess.
I'm happy for them just for showing up.
Me too. You know,
props if they could keep them for getting on the plane.
If they could just keep it close till halftime. Little old tiny Tim over here going to take their cane and try to shuffle onto the plane.
Maybe we can just have a little moral victory.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sure. The lack of respect about, I mean, it's the most ones I've been searching.
Yeah.
For one talking head to just be like, well, what if?
Yeah.
What if like Auburn's receiving core is like a top 2 or 3 receiving core?
Yep.
In the country. Well, they held Underwood in Michigan to, 9 of 24 or whatever it was. It's like, yeah, this isn't the same thing. No one outside of Auburn is bringing up that argument or point. And look, I think it's more likely that Oklahoma wins at Auburn. But the way this game is being covered, I think, is wrong. And there's just a few myths throughout all of this that are driving me crazy.
Do you want to go myth busting today? Do you want to bust some myths?
Yeah, you say something real quick. Let me pull up PFF because there's a few things that are just like factually incorrect that I think people are just like, I think they're just wrong on.
Yeah, I love it. We're going to get into this. We got the 6-pack. We've got, by the way, the Oklahoma fans too, not just national media, but I've noticed this about Oklahoma fans. They are the most aggressive, insufferable fan base so far that we've dealt with. Like Alabama fans are pretty insufferable. Georgia's pretty insufferable. LSU fans are insufferable.
They've won stuff.
The Oklahoma people, yeah, but not like at that level for a while. Like it's been a while. And so
I'm saying the other teams you mentioned.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Alabama fans and Georgia fans and LSU fans, like recently, like they've got stuff. Like, they have reasons to be insufferable. Yeah.
But they're just sort of in a constant state of insufferable. The Oklahoma people are trying to bully you, the Auburn fan, into not being excited about this game. They're trying to bully you, the Auburn fan, into not thinking you have a chance. Oklahoma's favored to win the game. If they win the game, it won't be a surprise to most. They're favored. They're supposed to, according to Vegas and people who put a lot of money on stuff like this. But I think you're right, Zach. I'm stunned that nobody's critically thinking about this game. They're going, well, John Mateer's the real deal. Auburn's limited in the passing game. This is going to be a woodshed game. Oh, okay.
Right, so let's do this. Okay, so I posted a stat of the day every morning, 7:00 across all social platforms. One I did a few days ago was Jackson's deep passing stats, because I keep hearing from the Oklahoma side that Jackson can't throw the ball down the field. And the truth is he just hasn't thrown it down the field. But when he has, he's got a completion percentage of 57%, which is decent, right?
Yeah.
No turnovers, 2 touchdowns, every attempt. He's averaging 15.9 yards per attempt downfield, which is great.
Will you take 50-50 on a deep ball?
Yeah, I'll take 57% on that all day.
That's what I'm saying. If you take 50-50 on a deep ball and he's at 57%, I'll take it.
Right. Mateer.
Yep.
6 of 12.
Okay.
50%.
Yeah. Which is good. It's good. Nobody's saying it's not good.
But all the comments were like, oh, he's the same player. I'm like, he's more efficient passing the ball deep than your Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah. Johnny Football 2.0. Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's driving me crazy. Another one is, all Jackson does is turn the ball over. That's one we're hearing a ton of.
Which is,
how many interceptions has Jackson Arnold thrown this year?
Goose egg.
Weird. Okay.
0.
Mateer's thrown 3.
Yeah, Oklahoma as a team is last in the SEC in turnover margin. They've lost 2 fumbles too. 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost.
And it's like, it's Well, is who Jackson is. Like, okay, well, granted, he didn't play the entire season because he got benched at Oklahoma, but
Yeah.
3 picks last year. John Mateer threw 7.
So twice as many.
I'm just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? And if you're Oklahoma, you don't even really have to lie.
Right.
You don't have to lie to one, to push Jackson down, and 2, to build Mateer up.
Yeah.
Mateer's been fantastic. But to say that Jackson is this like exact same dude as he was a year ago because your program couldn't put anything around him, it's lazy.
Yeah.
Now, could Mateer beat Jackson on Saturday? Yes, absolutely. That's what most people are saying.
No, it's not possible for Mateer to beat Jackson Saturday.
Oh,
you know why? Okay. It's the semantics argument because they're not on the field at the same time. Jackson Arnold isn't facing John Mateer. And John Mateer's not facing Jackson Arnold. John Mateer's got to deal with the Auburn defense. Jackson Arnold's got to deal with the Oklahoma defense.
I've got one more, and this is me being a little petty because Oklahoma people have really lit me up this week, which I appreciate. That's why you do this.
That's right. That's right.
That's why you do this. About like, oh, well, look at Jackson's numbers when under pressure. And it's like, well, he's only thrown 8 passes under pressure this year. So, like, we don't fully know. He's done a good job of sensing it and then turning it into, 6-7 yard run. He's done a great job of that up to this point. It'll be tougher to do it against Oklahoma this weekend. That's why it's the true test. It's been labeled as the true test. We will learn so much about it. What's interesting to me, all of Mateer's picks, clean pocket. No pressure, which I think is worse.
Are you, Zach, are you bringing objective data to this conversation? Are you bringing inarguable facts to this conversation?
All of his picks have been when he has a clean pocket and when the defense has not sent extra rushers.
Yeah.
What is DJ Durkin get a lot of criticism for?
Keep on. Keep going. You're cooking. I'm going to let you keep going.
I'm done. I'm done. That's it.
All right. Again, the presence of one thing doesn't mean the absence of another. The absence of one thing doesn't necessarily mean the presence of another. That's the reasonable, which I'm trying to keep it within the lanes of reason, which is tough sometimes, but
let's just bug my guy.
Oklahoma's the toughest team Auburn will have faced so far. Auburn's the toughest team Oklahoma has faced so far. So just because Oklahoma's done something so far doesn't mean they'll do it against Auburn. Just because Auburn's done something or hasn't done something so far doesn't mean they won't or they will do it against Oklahoma. Here's the point that I'm making, and here's what I don't think. So I went back and I watched Michigan, Oklahoma. Michigan attempted to run outside zone and stretch plays against that Oklahoma defense, and it did not work. What Michigan did not have was a two-headed monster because they didn't run Bryce Underwood. They didn't run him, and he's a true freshman. You want to try to protect him and put him in a spot to have success. Jackson Arnold, not a true freshman walking in there, friends. Jackson Arnold is an experienced director of an RPO offense.
A director?
He directs the offense at a really high level. Auburn doesn't have a two-headed monster going into Norman. Auburn has a three-headed monster going in from a running perspective. And Brent Venables talked about this, not me. I heard somebody call him burnt vegetables the other day, and I laughed out loud. I'm not doing that. Somebody else on some other show did that.
I like Venables.
So. I do too. No, I do too. Yeah. We're aligned in that. So
I actually like Oklahoma, if I'm being honest.
As the program, I have great respect for the program. Some of their fans have changed that a little bit this week, but not only.
Yeah, and the media, and I mean, I'm friends with several of their media people. Like, I like Oklahoma.
Sure.
But
all right, so we talk about this Auburn running game like thunder and lightning.
The fans think they just want to be Texas so bad, is what it is. They want to be Texas.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't argue that, I don't think. They'd probably admit that if they're honest. It's not thunder and lightning. Okay? The Auburn running game isn't thunder and lightning. Brent Venables talked about, this is my point. He talked about this week the complexity of Auburn's running game. He said the team we faced last week had like 2 running plays, and that was it. And Auburn, from a schematic standpoint, runs it in so many different ways. It's not thunder and lightning. It's thunder, lightning, and hail. When you bring Jackson's running ability into this, now you have Jackson Arnold and Jeremiah
Jackson's
Cobb.
the hail?
I think so.
Like frozen rain?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So not only do you have Jeremiah Cobb.
What does that mean?
It means a storm is brewing.
Oh, wow.
And I know the National Weather Service
Chills.
and I understand the National Weather Service is located on campus there in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a storm brewing that they haven't faced. They haven't faced a rushing attack like this. They just haven't. And to say that they have, or to say that their success against Michigan's scheme or Temple's scheme or Illinois State's scheme.
Illinois is a state.
It is a state. But to attempt to make the case that you're going to shut Auburn down because you were able to shut those teams down isn't genuine. And for Auburn fans not to believe in their running game, with the offensive line they've put together with 450,000 career starts or whatever it is, and the effectiveness we've seen from it so far this year, and a healthy Damari Alston back there to split those carries. And the fact that on 3rd and 9, they're just as happy to run Jackson up the middle and try to pick up half of it and go for it on 4th down. And the fact that the red zone yards per carry are tops in the SEC. They're averaging 4.5 yards per carry in the red zone. You don't think that stat matters? Oh,
no.
I think it matters a great deal when they were last in the league last year at it.
So much of that depends on where you get the ball in the red zone.
Okay.
So if it's 1st and goal from the 3,
yeah,
versus 1st and goal from the 19.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's just not.
Through 3 games you've had.
Like, you want to lead in it for sure. I'm not saying it's not great, but like it's a little like depending on where you get the football.
But you can't. What I'm saying is, if you can run the ball effectively in the red zone,
sure,
you can still run basically your entire offense in the red zone. So, yeah, I just to think for Auburn fans, this isn't even so much as Oklahoma fans, but for Auburn fans to shrink back a little bit and think that they can't run their offense against this Oklahoma defense because Oklahoma had success against Michigan, Illinois State, and Temple, I think you're selling them short a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even know what our offense is yet.
I think, well, yeah, I don't think
I would love to be a power running spread offense, but I don't think Hugh Freeze will let it happen.
You don't think he'll let it happen? You don't think he'll take whatever's getting yards and points?
He did against Baylor, which is encouraging, but he didn't do it last year.
No, he didn't do it last year, but he's
dope. We're back.
I don't know what happened. I think there's so much heat before this game. It just wore the internet down. That's what it was.
Some of the national media, if they're watching this, they'd be like, John Mateer somehow was responsible for that greatness. Or in that story,
or it's Jackson Arnold's fault.
Oh wow, it's one or the other.
They're so limited. They're so those guys on Village Vice are so limited that they couldn't even hold their internet connection.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
How important is the initial injury report? We're going to talk about that after Zach.
Oh goodness,
tells you about Roback.
Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order. They've got all the hoodies, quarter zips, the best polo in the game. Some are saying, we don't want you to pay full price for it. Get 20% off. Use promo code BARN20 at Roback.com.
All right. If Jay Crawford doesn't play, that's a bummer.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Starting corner, best corner on your team. It's a big deal. He's doubtful.
Doubtful's pretty strong.
Yep. Amaris
they had
Williams.
the option to put him down as questionable, and they're like, no, let's don't do that.
Right.
Not great.
Could he be upgraded to questionable? Sure. Don't know if he will be or not.
I think he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I think it's very painful.
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw, I don't know if it's knee to knee. Singleton was out for a little time during fall camp with the same kind of thing. And there are differing levels of pain and severity to that kind of injury.
It's also different as a corner
Yeah.
and a receiver. It's a little different too. So that impacts the game.
Yeah.
Especially when there's already been questions about this defensive back room and the task that they have in front of them. It's not great.
You need Rashawn Pleasant back. You need Champ Anthony back. Not only do you need him back, but now you need, like we just talked earlier this week about how Kayin Lee was probably going to get a lot of targets against him. That may change now. If Jay doesn't play,
yeah,
I mean, Kayin still going to get targets against him because they spread it around. But
right,
if it's Rashawn in there, if it's Rayon Strader in there, those guys probably they're certainly going to get more looks against him than Jay would have gotten.
Agreed.
On the other side of it, Zach, Oklahoma lost their starting center a week and a half ago. They didn't have him against Temple. It didn't matter. It was Temple. Team captain, big-time center. Like, imagine if Auburn lost Connor Lew, the spot it would put Auburn in. Their starting left tackle, who is also a replacement, is a true freshman, and he is questionable. Their current center, the backup to the team captain, is listed as questionable. It's not as bad as last year yet, but they're not full strength on the offensive line. And against Auburn's defensive line, which is the best they'll have faced so far this year, I think that maybe balances out a little bit of Auburn's secondary injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get a whole lot of pushback from Oklahoma when I talk about Auburn's defensive line being able to get pressure on Mateer. The question is, can they keep him in the pocket?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much that just comes down to execution.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Keyron and Keldrick are going to get back there. Can they keep him back there is my biggest question.
Right. And Chris Murray and Jared Smith. I'm excited to see more of Jared Smith, but the main question I have is, can he play within like you rush to contain just as much as you rush
this week for sure
to affect? Yeah. So like with Jared, with any true freshman, does he over pursue? Does he get too excited? Is he, you're going to win matchups against those tackles.
Yeah.
Can you keep Mateer from making plays after? Yeah.
I got a thing in a few minutes I totally forgot about. Let's jump into the six-pack.
Okay. All right, great. So let's get it started with one of the early games of the day, which is Texas Tech at Utah. It's a top 20 matchup. Utah 3.5-point favorite. I don't care about this game one way or the other. I won't give it much of a look. But give me Utah at home.
Sure.
Okay. Michigan at Nebraska. Nebraska's 3-0. If Nebraska wins this game, like they're back, baby. Michigan's a 1.5-point favorite on the road.
I don't care. Michigan.
How about South Carolina at Missouri? Missouri's a 9.5-point favorite. They got Ahmad Hardy rushed for 1,000 yards last week.
Is it 9.5 now?
9.5 now. It's come down a little.
I think it was 13.5. Wasn't
it? It's come. Yeah.
I think Missouri wins.
Are you more of a believer in Missouri or more of a doubter of South Carolina?
Believer in Missouri.
Okay.
Drinkwitz has done a great job there.
Yeah, he has. I don't know that I've seen enough yet from their previous games. I'm more of a South Carolina
Carolina doubter.
Take? Yeah.
This has been a great offseason topic. Drinkwitz has done more at Missouri than Lane Kiffin has done at Ole Miss.
Oh. Yeah. I can't push back against that immediately. Let me think about that a little more.
Think on it.
That's great. I like that.
Think on it.
Illinois at Indiana, top 20 game in Bloomington. Indiana, a 6.5-point favorite. I'm going Illinois.
I am too. Wow, we're just in agreement here.
Give me Burt Bielema and Illinois. I'm not picking Miami and Florida as a winner. Miami's only a 7.5-point favorite at home against Florida. Why? Why are they only a 7.5-point favorite?
Their defense was awesome against LSU.
Okay. But
I'm taking Miami.
Okay. To cover? I'm taking them and to cover. Yeah, no question. I think that's 5. So let's get to Auburn and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is now, as of recording, a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would take Auburn plus the points for sure.
But you're picking.
I go
Oklahoma
back and forth, man. I've been asked to pick this game, and I've said something different every time. It really just depends on when you catch me. I've been saying 27-24 somebody, and the somebody has changed every interview. Right now, I'll say Oklahoma.
Okay. I think 3 stats determine this game: red zone, time of possession, and turnovers. Red zone, time of possession, turnovers.
What a take.
Yeah, how about that?
What a hot take by you, my guy.
Look, Oklahoma has held the ball between 32 and 33 minutes in all 3 of their games. If they hold it 33 minutes and score touchdowns in the red zone, both teams are perfect in the red zone this year. Perfect.
You're perfect.
Auburn's had 7 touchdowns and 9 trips to the red zone. Oklahoma's had many more trips to the red zone, but Oklahoma has only allowed 4 trips into the red zone, and they've given up 3 field goals. That's it. Nobody scored a touchdown in the red zone.
That's big.
I think Auburn's red zone success is enough to trump Oklahoma's defensive red zone success. So as long as you don't give it to them twice, I like Auburn's ground game. I like them. Once you establish the ground game, you can do almost anything else. Oklahoma adjusts defensively. They bring an extra man in to try to slow down the run that Auburn establishes, and that's when you can beat them. Not necessarily over the top, because they're gonna guard against stretching the field vertically. I think you can beat them in the middle. I think you beat them in the middle in the passing game.
I hope so. If Jay Crawford doesn't play, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I still think they can do enough, and I still think if either team gets to 20, they win. I think it's more of a 17-16 type of game.
I think if it gets to that point, I feel better about Auburn.
Yeah. Gritty, nail-biting, nerve-wracking, wear you out.
Sounds terrible. Can't wait.
I know we can't wait. Sounds terrible. I can't wait. That's the perfect way to sum it up.
3.5 hours of misery. Sign me up, baby.
Gut-wrenching, fist-clenching wonderment.
Yep. All right. That does it for today's show.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.